Can you hear us now, Joker?
Yo, yo, yo. That time of the year. F1
It
season's
worked.
back.
It worked. So once again, we apologize for the technical difficulties. But once again, let's go ahead and get things started. We are up in the booth tonight for another exciting Fantasy Performance League racing. Except we are back in the F1 series. Always Jake, Fortunator, and Speed Racer are in the booth tonight, calling all the live action coverage that we can explain. This is the first time get a chance to call a race from Miami and Speed. Pretty much, I think you've seen the track a time or two, haven't you?
Yes, I have, just in pub lobbies and stuff, though. Uh, it's a newer track, difficult track. I know if these guys are making mistakes at the relatively quote-unquote simpler tracks, I think this will definitely be a race for attrition and survival.
Very well said, and I do believe that Fortunator. Let me ask you this: what is so unique about Miami?
What's so unique is that it's got a little bit of everything. It's got high speed corners, low speed corners, long straightaways, and there's just a bunch, and it's very tight like we had over, it's a very tight track wall to wall that we had over in specific parts, but like we had over in Saudi Arabia. So there's a lot of close wheel to wheel racing that you'll see there.
Yeah, and of course, I remember last week we was at the Netherlands, and that was a crazy, wild, you know, chaotic race. It was in the rain, and I gotta say, what more can you ask for? I mean, the rain pretty much made the entire race a little bit difficult. But the question is, are we gonna be seeing any rain? I'd be really surprised if it is. But then again, it mostly rains down in Miami. So either way, I feel like tonight we are in for an exciting race. Let's go ahead and get down as far as the power rankings for after last week's Netherlands race. First, as far as there it is, the D1 rankings in round three, it was Chico Perez, Hayes Clay, Jackson Altman, Fistbuster, Tiger NASCAR, Killer XL, AK, Electric Blade, Riley, and Fortnite Racing, AK. I think it's Daraludo, but I could be wrong.
Fortnite Racing is Nicholas Goat Tiffy.
Oh, I forgot about that. Yeah, Nicholas Gotifi. But either way, I think I couldn't remember. I think it was Clay that won last week's race, right?
Yeah, I believe Clay has won two races in a row. I might have to double check that, but he's definitely won once or twice because I'm pretty sure he got the win for that controversial race, the race before that,
Hmm.
where the leaders had time penalties and all that. So, if I'm not mistaken, Clay, although number two in the power rankings, has two wins in a row. Um, when we get to our race winners, I think I'm definitely going to talk to him first, or about him, I should say. um,
I think I just got
yeah.
an invite to the race.
Yeah.
Well, you should have.
I
You
know,
are in the
I know.
booth.
All right, I just making sure we all got invites.
That's what we do
I'll
around
I'll
here.
say
Is
I'll say you should already got a chance to join us because you would have got a chance to be in spectator mode there first.
Hmm.
yes.
Be- Because myself and Speed are already in here, so just remember that.
All right, just making sure
uh,
because I hadn't got the invite yet.
what are we gonna do with you, Furch? What are we gonna do with you, bud?
But
Anyways,
regardless,
let's go ahead and talk about the team standings after Netherlands, shall we? So in first place, by ahead by 2 points, Red Bull in first, AlphaTauri right behind them in 66 points in second. In third, Aston Martin in 53 points. Fourth, the McLaren 46 points. Fifth, Alpine with 45 points. Sixth, the Ferrari, which they definitely need a lot to be able to work on for us tonight. In sixth, Williams in seventh. Haas eighth. Mercedes ninth. And rounding out the top 10, it is the Alfa Romero. So we pretty much talking about a lot that has been happening. Um, but the thing is, give me a. Hang on, first, are you racing?
I have no idea. They're asking me right now.
Um,
They said I can race and be in the booth.
I
So, I mean, I can give you in.
personally, Personally, I feel like you definitely need to go join the party because I
Okay.
want you.
I
I
mean,
want you. I
Ferch,
want
if
you to
you
go
want to
first.
go race, go race.
all
Yeah, go
right. I mean
race.
that they're telling me to. My bad.
Go race,
Go
buddy.
race. Go
Yeah.
Okay.
race.
All right. Hopefully you guys do well in the booth. Sorry I couldn't be able to help you out today.
Yeah.
You'll still help us out if you provide us with something to call.
Okay. I mean,
I mean,
I can be in here and help you guys out and tell you
I
what's
mean,
going on now.
No, it's
personally,
alright. Just go be in the booth. We have
yeah,
telemetry and all that stuff in this game because it's
yeah,
better than Heat
All
5, so
right.
we'll
All
know
right.
yeah.
anyway.
Go, go.
All right. I'll see y'all.
See
Yeah.
ya. All right. So that was Fortunator, and I definitely hope for the best for him. I mean, it's like a little kindergarten leaving his mommy for the first time. But yeah, once again, Furch is leaving us to go try to do something. I mean, he did very well last week. I mean, he
Yeah, he's
finished
alright.
top 10 because half the field DNF'd. I mean, so.
Well, that's just it. He finished ninth, but out of the 9 cars running, so.
I
But
mean, well,
but the thing is, ninth place, he has more points by himself than Alfa Romeo as a team does all season, so.
yeah. I mean, I just wonder if he's going to be in the Ferrari or where he's going to be at. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have about less than almost 10 seconds left of qualifying. This I kind of wish Joker was here so he can give us like a little bit brief of preview as far as his point of view. But apparently, I think Joker's racing, which I don't really see his name on here. But
Well, shout out to the man anyway. Joker, thank you for doing all you do for here. I was gonna jump on Clay and hand him the trophy basically before this race even started. And then I noticed at the bottom of the screen entering the race, and that Carlos Hines made his way to this lobby. And if you
oh
remember, he's pretty fast too, ain't he?
yeah, oh yeah, he pretty much won the first race whenever we was at Bahrain.
Yep.
And by the way, I apologize if y'all hear me open up my brand new Coke Dream World, which tastes like mangoes. No, so pretty much as we do see a couple of drivers are heading out to the track. Uh, I gotta say, I'm really really excited about this. I mean, this is our first time getting a chance to call a brand new track in Miami. And of course, one thing to know for sure is that if you're a football fan, you guys will get a chance to see the Hard Rock Stadium. Is that what they call it?
Something like that, yeah. So I got my out on Kluka, who's running tonight's race in the Mercedes. Of course, he's on soft tires as well.
I mean, the little man has had a tough week, especially what happened at Gateway. And if you guys have missed out on any Hennessy Performance League, whether if it's an F1 or a NASCAR race, be sure to like, comment, subscribe because we have plenty more coming. We have road course for as far as next week's goes. After we bring you all the coverage here in Miami, we will be back live on air at I think it's Sonoma for the Truck Series. Myself, Speed, and of course maybe Fortunator. But hopefully we can get the returning Electric Days to join back with us. I know he hates missing out on tonight's race, so shout out to the young buck.
But yes, so the trucks are at Sonoma, and both Cup and Xfinity, I believe, are at Mid Ohio. So the entire league between F1 and NASCAR next week will all go road course racing, which is both fun and chaotic. Some of these guys who are used to left turns may not do the right ones so well, but
Yeah.
hopefully they can.
Yeah, so I definitely want to alert you guys as far as where I think Kuka is going to be racing in the Mercedes, and I think he is the first one to cross the start finish line. As there is a yellow flag where Sector 3 is. I think that's just most of the drivers that are getting the fresh tires going.
Yes.
Same thing for Sector 3. These drivers are trying to get themselves prepared. One thing I noticed about Kluka, though, is that he is not wasting any time. He is just trying to be able to be the first one on the as far as the position wise, try to see if you can be able to be first. But Speed, I'm gonna tell you this though. Whenever you race a guy like Carlos Sainz, and not to mention Hayes Clay has been doing a phenomenal job. Two wins in a row. I mean, where do you see as far as the guys that we're gonna be seeing tonight, such as Fortunator, your Klukas? I mean, all those that we're not used to seeing in the Division One series.
Well, for a guy like Furch, I just need to see more speed out of him. He ran ninth last week in the total finishing order, but before all those guys DNF'd out, he was way back in like 15th place, hanging out around there. So I think he's going to need more speed to compete. However, Kluka, he believes he's the best driver in Div 2. So he's going to race this Div 1 race because he believes he belongs here, and he's going to give it all he's got. So we'll see.
Oh
Carlos
my
Hines runs a
god!
1:27.8. Just
That
kills
wow.
Kluka's lap hopes and dreams in 5 seconds.
I think Kluka needs to cue the sound of silence. If you guys know what I'm talking about.
Uh,
So, but no. So let's go ahead and get back to focus on. Oh, something happened in Sector 2. But yeah, so far we've had 5 drivers that's putting in their lap times. Dallin being the worst one out of the 6 now with a 131. Carlos Hines with a 127. The only driver with a 127 thus far. Electric Blade representing Haas in second place with a 128.2. Tiger NASCAR with a 128.7. And as soon as I say that, Hayes Clay in third with a 128.6. Tiger NASCAR with a 128.7. Kluka with a 129.4. Fortunator with a 133.
yeah, First running a faster lap than Allen, but again, he's 6 out of those 7 guys who've ran. So I think Kluka will be better than him, but I don't really think either one of them will have the pace to perhaps get a podium or win the race. They may be close to
Uh,
points, however, though.
Jackson Altman with a 155. I think that's from trying to be able to take care of your tires as Kluka is coming down to pits this time. And if you guys are checking out any of the drivers, especially for us, we notice a lot of different things. Uh, but the question is anybody feeling in for electric?
I don't really know I forget what car Electric drives in F1, honestly, so I don't really know.
He races in AlphaTauri. I think it's going to be Carlos Sainz. It's going to be with Clay. And if that's the case, I would feel bad for any of the drivers because of how dominating Clay is and also how phenomenal Carlos Sainz is.
Yeah, we're only on race 5 or 6, I believe, and just right there is 50% of the season's wins so far. So definitely gonna be
Oh,
hard to beat that.
and Ecos with a 128.2, that's going to put him up in the top 3, knocking off that one Portuguese dude and Clay, who was in the top 3 not too long ago, but as we see something happening in Sector 2. Meanwhile, the only drivers that have not really got a chance to make their times in is Killer, Fistbuster, Jackson, Fortnite Racing, Spin and Win, Brinkenhoff, AK, and Wormel. Something I noticed is that we've not really seen much as far as AK position wise, but hopefully we'll get a chance to have himself a good run here tonight. We've had 12 cars putting in their times in as we're about to be having 11 minutes down at the end of this qualifying session. Fortunately, no, was it pace? I'm trying to think of what they do before the race. Oh, either way. Um, but I will say this, though, Speed, is that we are seeing a lot
Oh,
of
you think the formation lap? Is that what you're thinking about?
formation lap. Yeah, sorry, the formation lap. Yeah, my bad.
Yeah, it's okay.
It's my mind has been a very huge blank today due to that Speed, but
In your defense, we're also used to NASCAR. We call those pace laps around there, and
oh, okay.
we don't get a game good enough for that. So.
I mean,
uh,
oh, real quick though, Clay is currently in the. Where is he at? He's in the infield, I believe. I don't know if it's the infield. But what is going on? Oh, I think he's letting them go by. Yeah, he's letting the drivers go by.
Clay's just
As
chilling.
not Clay, but Kluka. Not There's something happening down to sector 1. Oh,
Spin and win.
spin and
Spun
win,
out.
yeah. And thankfully he'll be ghosted. Like, oh, yeah, he's trying to get that thing turned back around.
He was
Once
ghosted
that,
and could have potentially kept back going, but he just kind of parked it there for a minute and watched people drive past him.
at this point in time, I mean, so far we've had 14 drivers putting in their lap times. Surprisingly enough, the worst one has been Jackson Allman with a 155. But from worst to best, meaning Carlos Hines with a 127.8. My apologies.
To be 4/10 off better than second place is enough, but to also be running 127s while they're all running 128s is even more scary.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. As we're seeing, with less than about 9 minutes ago, is something's happening in Sector 1. It's a Haas car, but everything's back up and going. I am really excited about this race. I mean, this is going to be probably one of the most unique F1 races that we ever get a chance to call because brand new track, making this F1 debut, and we're going to chance to call it. How exciting it could be. I mean, I think the last time we was at Miami was probably for the NASCAR series. But ever since then, I mean, we've really never got a chance to do something outside of it. But now here we are, beautiful Miami, and oh, and Breakerhoff. My apologies if you were trying to speak there, but there was like a lot of debris. Uh, so far, we've not really had that one driver that's had like pretty much ruining their car.
Yeah, I was watching Porty do on his outlap, and I think that was Heredia who would have been just kind of chilling there. He's already ran 3 laps, so I think he's just kind of driving around until he gets to the pits.
I think that I don't know. It could be Furgenator, but Furgenator is outside the top 10 at the moment. Jackson Allman is on his outlap, but meanwhile, Fistbuster, Dirty Boy Jackson, Blickerhoff, and AK are trying to be able to get their qualifying times in. Uh, Portugal as well, Tiger NASCAR as well as Electric Blade and Clay. Clay's praying. I'm used to Hayes Clay, but I'm still going to call him that. And Fistbuster with a 127.7 takes the lead away from Carlos Sainz. And with the amount of time that we have left for this qualifying session, I think we finally see Fistbuster getting that fire that we're all known for seeing.
Well, I mean, what a lap! I'm still speechless.
God,
127.7. We now
please
have
put the camera on him.
three. Oh, it is. We now have 3 drivers in the 127s. Wow.
Jesus.
And Electric Blade, he ran the 128.0, so like one corner goes a little bit faster, and he's in the 127s. The whole podium, absolute blistering laps. And Fist is still out there. He looks like he wants more.
He's pulling it right back because he's wanting some more as we are less than 6 minutes away till the end of this qualifying session. And if you guys are just now tuning in, always Jake and Speed Racer is up in the booth. We did have Speed Racer join us for a little bit, but he is actually going
First,
to be racing. He's currently in the top 15 at the moment. And by the way, something I definitely do need to point out is that Jackson Ullman went from down to the bottom into inside the top 5 with a 127.9. So we've had 4 drivers pulling off 127s.
looks like Fistbuster went into the pits. He was happy with his lap, but right as he went in, Carlos Hines came right back out. We're gonna watch him for his lap. It's about to begin it. It's in the last corner right now. AlphaTauri.
Yeah, as we're less than about 5 minutes away to the end of this qualifying session. Man, oh man, this is definitely going to be a good one.
He's ripping around this track. He's also catching a McLaren in front of him. That might help him for some slipstream. Make him go even faster. Pretty good first sector. Into the DRS. He's going 210 miles per hour into this tight corner. Slows it down all the way to 60. Makes it stick.
Oh boy.
Then we go to this slower section of the track, probably the slowest part of the track. Still going through it faster than you go through down I-75 in America, though. Up the hill on the straightaway into the DRS. He's going to hit probably about 210 miles an hour into this corner as well. 209. Coming out of the turn. I don't think it'll be enough. Never mind. Prove me wrong.
Oh my God.
127.4.
0.4. Oh my God.
And Carlos Sainz does that casually. He's probably sitting down like, oh, I just ran a 127.4. It's okay. Start P1, get good, get good track position.
I mean, he literally just said, "Hold my beer. I'm gonna have a better lap."
Anything you can do, I can do better.
And I really feel like that he is definitely showing that he can be better. I mean, just like we always said, be better, and he's definitely showing that he's better.
Again, Carlos Sainz sets his lap. Look who's back on his out lap.
As we're less than 2 minutes and 20 seconds away to the end of this qualifying session. And if you guys are watching this right now, we do know we have a live chat down there. So let us know what you think about the qualifying session and who do you got to win this race. We'll definitely answer all your comments. What's within in between as Fortunator, he is the first driver to retire from the session. He said, "Oh, 1.30, 0.0 is going to be a better lap." So
these guys just casually running 3 seconds faster than me, but I'm content with my lap. You know, it's okay.
I think I think he might be driving Alfa Romero, so he's teammates with Breakenhoff. I could be wrong, but yeah. So that's a really unique team with Virtue and Breakenhoff. And Carlos Sainz, he said, yeah. I said I don't think anybody's going to beat me, so he's going to retire from the session, and he's going to hope that nobody could be able to beat his faster lap time. But the thing is that this is definitely going to be a battle for sure as we are watching Fistbuster. He is currently on his lap with a 127.7, but he's got to be able to beat a 127.4. Killer XL retires. And so Warren was on his out lap. We have a couple of drivers that are on their out lap. A couple of drivers are already retired. Electric Blade and I think Dallin just now. All right. Less than I believe a minute. Was there a collision?
I don't know if there's a collision, but Fistbuster, his lap is blistering. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I definitely do agree. As we are less than 30 seconds, so this will not affect Fistbuster's lap time at the moment.
Rips through there. Quite the similar speed to Carlos, but I don't know if it'll be enough. It does help that his teammates giving him a little bit of slipstream, I believe.
Yeah, here comes Fistbuster, get ready to cross the start-finish line. This will be his final lap with a 127. Oh, just a 127.9.
A 127.7. So fist buster. It's crazy. A 127.7 is second place. A 127.9, that only gets you fourth. Might even get you fifth. I mean,
I mean, all I'm gonna say is that this is gonna be a good one.
I, if you guys wondered why I'm in the booth and not out here racing, this is why. I'd be hanging out with Alan, Furch, and Worm, maybe even Brink down there. I'd be afraid to go out after laps like that. Too embarrassed thinking about what I'm
I
gonna put up.
I personally feel like that, it doesn't matter where you're gonna be starting. You just know that if you see either the top five at least, just get out of the way. Which thankfully, as far as like our situation, if the leader shows up to a lap car, then I don't think it will be visible, but at least the driver can do is have the blue flag and for them to get the heck out of the way. So we're about less than a minute and 25 seconds left. I don't think anybody's really out except uh, Ecos, Jackson, and Clay is in the pits. But the problem is they have less than a minute, so I really think that they're going to retire from the session, I believe.
Definitely not a bad session nonetheless, though.
Yeah. I mean, right now, I feel like that Clay's starting off with a really good spot, but the thing is that, and this is something I don't think we've all really got a chance to call, is how difficult turn one is going to be. As you see it on our leaderboard, Carlos Hyde is going to be starting for first, then Fistbuster, Hay is Clay, Jackson Altman, Electric Blade, Ecos, Fortnite, aka Nicholas, Dirty Boy Jackson, Tiger NASCAR, and right out the top 10, it is that Porchy dude, and I believe they're all going to be starting on softs there, Speed.
Yeah, that's very possible. This is gonna be a very interesting start. Jackson, kind of like the Kawabuchi of F1, and not in the sense maybe where he's the fastest, but in the sense of where like he gets everything he can out of that race car on the starts of every start, whether it's a restart or a safety car or a virtual safety car, or
Yeah,
he just manages to get the best out of every start. I think one race we saw him go from 15th to 6th in one lap.
yeah. I did get a question during our session. Why was one's a light gray than the others? Well, the thing is though is that if a driver were to like leave the session, that means that they're done. That they may or not have affected their position. So whenever the drivers left, that's why you're seeing all those invisible drivers here and there. So
Yeah, so
thank.
when
But
one thing is gray, it just basically means that uh, they're still running and they are sort of they can still run. They're in the pits. They haven't retired from the session or DNF'd or anything like that. But when one's kind of like faded out and it's not really any color, it's kind of like invisible or it's not gray, so to speak.
yeah,
They have DNF, retired, or left the session. That's all
I
it
will
means.
say that that was a really good question. So thank you for sending us that question. We really do appreciate it. But now we are getting ready to go racing. As we are less than 20 seconds away. Speed. Any final thoughts? Any final comments before we go? Uh, lights out.
My race pick is Carlos Hines. He's either going to win the race or the commentator's curse is going to come into effect. We'll see.
I really hope I don't put the curse on either Fist or Clay. So I'm just gonna put it on Clay. So, anyways, thank you for that, Speed. Hey, we are done with the qualifying session. Now we get to the fun stuff. As the drivers are lined up, there you see 5 red lights, and Lights out, green lights are out. We are underway here at Miami. You see the lap strategy as Carlos with a really fast time, 3 wide going into turn one between Hayes Clay, and there's a yellow flag, yellow down in sector one, and that was that one Porsche dude.
And Tiger NASCAR.
Oh,
no.
that is gonna be a virtual safety car, a full course safety car, I believe.
And like I mentioned, Jackson Altman qualifies fourth. He's already P2.
Yeah, so I hate that we really didn't get a chance to see much racing. Tiger NASCAR, something happened to him, I don't really know. But, man, what a crazy way to start this race. Turn one, I mean, we should have expected a safety car coming soon, but I gotta say this, though. I really didn't know what to expect. But whenever you get into that such a small turn, going 3 to 4 wide, what more do you expect?
I mean, yeah, and especially when you're in Tiger's case, you start P9 and you're kind of mid-pack, but these things kind of just happen in racing. But if we look at the position changes,
Yeah.
AK is your biggest gain. He qualified what would have been 15th. He's up into P9. And that Porsche dude lost 8 spots in just that one turn of events in turn 1.
Yeah, and of course, something that we do need to point out is that if you look at the top three, as far as the position wise, Jackson Allman and Electric Blade gained 2. Meanwhile, Hayes Clay and Fitzbuster lost 2 as they made it to the safety car. And for anyone that asks, as far as pit wise, we do see a couple of drivers coming out of pit road. We see Nicholas Latifi, we see Kluka, we see Brinkerhoff. I'm gonna see as far as what type of tires are gonna be running. And looks like a couple are starting to go on to mediums this early. I'm really surprised. Meanwhile, everybody except for Electric Blade is running on hards as well as Electric or AK unleaded. My apologies. And here's a unique one. Dirty Boy Jackson is running on softs. He made the change. I don't know why, but I don't know. I really don't know. But
Well, strategists or crew chiefs, whatever sport you're in, typically try to gain some sort of advantage, whether it be less time spent on pit road, whether it be fresher tires, whether it be the softer tires in this case, just any sort of advantage. So with everyone else in hards and mediums, I think Dirty Boy Jackson is going to try to take advantage of a shorter run since he knows he's going to be back there anyway, and he's going to just take softs. Which, I mean, if this race plays out like it has been so far, isn't actually a bad move because he can take the softs, gain some spots, and I would assume that another caution comes out and he can take mediums or hards from there. But guys on hards, on the other hand, they can stay out on the hards for a long time, take softs later. So it's going to be interesting. Or mediums, you never know. As Electric Blade pits from second place.
yeah, Electric Blade is and Dallin are the only. Make that Fortnite racing. Didn't Latifi just came to the pits just to pick up mediums or softs? That's
No,
he literally just.
the only car in the field on softs is Dirty Boy Jackson. Everyone else is on mediums or hards. The drivers on mediums are AK, Kluka, Brinker, and now LD Allen has put on the mediums from the looks of things. Am I correct?
Yeah, I mean, no, I mean you are correct. I mean,
Yes.
I don't know, but one thing about it though is that Dowland and Latifi have made 2 stops. Blade, Brinkerhoff, Kluka, and Dirty Boy Jackson has only made 1 stop. I knew Latifi came down to pit road early, but I didn't really expect him to make 2 stops. It could have been something he didn't like, so I don't really know. But hopefully, once when Latifi and Dallin do get a chance to catch up to the field, we should be able to get a chance to go back to green this time by, get ready to have some green flag runs. Which, if you guys were just now joining us, there was a safety car out with Tiger NASCAR is currently out. Talk about something that we haven't really talked about. Tough break for the Ferrari. The Ferrari has not been at their best these last couple of races there, Steve.
You know, and they're a little bit lower in the constructor standings too. Tiger hasn't had the season he's wanted, and neither has Heredia. Safety car is going to be in this lap. The thing that's weirded me out the most is how many people pit, because some of them didn't even change tire strategies, and I don't know how. You must have a really big issue with your car if you don't like it after one corner.
Hey, Speed, real quick, you're kind of static a little bit. Might want to see if your controller's not plugged in, or yeah, it was kind of like, I mean, we heard you loud and clear, but it was a little bit static. But we are back underway here at Miami. Green is out, green flag is out, and now we finally get a chance to see some green flag runs. Oh, but we do see a Fistbuster. He is out. Fistbuster has left the session. Wow. One of the drivers that was pretty much started up in the top 3 is out of the race, I believe. Hopefully, he'll get a chance to return.
Yeah, so if you leave the race, your AI or leg out, your AI will just run for you until you come back. If you do decide to come back, so I believe Fistbuster will just come back. However, still a tough break because now he's stuck on 18th on the hards, and his CPU is driving for him, so he's just going to lose more time. He's already 10 seconds behind Allen. Just a tough break.
Yeah, very well said. Very tough break. But meanwhile, back at the front, though, we are catching our eye on the battle for the lead between Carlos Sainz and Jackson Altman. I mean, Jackson Altman has won earlier about a couple of weeks ago. I think it was at Saudi Arabia, and they dominated fast. Oh, what's happening? What's happening?
There's a yellow in the sector. Looks like Heredia and Brinker had an issue.
Oh, and now, yeah, there's a lot of drivers. What's going on?
So, from what I saw, there was just 2 red cars. That would be the AlphaTauri and the Ferrari of Heredia and Brinker. Jackson Altman sets fastest lap in the race.
Yeah.
But they just kind of had an issue. One got tight and ran up the track, and the other was on the outside, and it just created a brief caution in the sector. But looks like they might have damage, but it looks like they're still going to be able to keep going. So nothing too major. Fistbuster has joined back.
Yeah, Fistbuster has now joined back, and hopefully he's on his way. But Spin-A-Win left the session.
And Fistbuster's on pit road again. Another tough break. Looks like he's swapped on the mediums, I guess.
Spin-A-Win is ghosted, so that's a good thing for those who are driving around by ditch. There's a battle going on between the McLaren and AlphaTauri, between Prey and Blacks. This is going to be a contact being made between Blacks and Clay. Acos is going to take 3rd place right now. There's a blanket of cars. Now Clay's going to have to keep his position going, try to be able to keep 4th until the green flag pit stops, which will be around between about 12 to 23 laps there, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, and just for a reminder for both Jake and our viewers, Blacks is Darludo, last time I heard, so
yeah.
If you wonder where Darludo is, he's not very far away. He's just in 3rd place. He didn't leave us. He's on a vacation. He's not showing up. He's just in 3rd. He's just kind of chilling, doing his own race in the McLaren. Joker's got to be happy. He's got 2 drivers in the top 5 right now.
Yeah, but real quick, let's go ahead and get back to the front between Carlos Sainz and Jackson Altman. I mean, these are the only 2 that are battling for the lead, and after a tough break at Charlotte for Jackson Altman, you know his mind is focused on this race tonight. Like I said before, he won a race earlier back a couple weeks ago at Saudi Arabia, and I really feel like Jackson has a really tough challenge in Carlos Sainz. We've seen that at Bahrain, the first race of the season, and we're seeing it here now. I mean, what can he do? We'll have to figure it out.
We do have a little bit of an issue in Sector 2. That is a blue car. I believe that is Fortnite Racing or Nicholas Latifi. I would assume he got
Oh,
spun out in that section there of the track. So we have another yellow.
Kluka is invisible at the moment. There's something wrong with
With the
Kluka between Sector 2
Mercedes.
and Sector 3.
Jackson Altman says a blistering lap. Battle for the lead is heating up. Jackson, as Jake mentioned, fast guy. Like I mentioned, he's fast on restarts, but now that he's got these hards, he's going to be just as fast on the long run as well. So Jackson going to put up a fight against Carlos, even though he's pretty fast.
Oh, Carlos Sainz spun! Oh my gosh! Carlos Sainz spun. He got back up and going, but he lost. He's losing a lot of positions. Lost 6 spots because of that. Oh my gosh! Wow!
It's like he went through an oil slick and just spun out. He lost grip, traction, and these cars are super light this year and easy to spin, so
Yeah, and that is so wild because that is the first time since we joined with the qualifying session and everything that someone actually spun right there where Carlos did. So, gotta say, I'm really, really surprised that it happened. But right now, at the moment, it is all Jackson Altman and Darrell Ludo, followed by it's Clay. Wow. Meanwhile, we're seeing a battle for third between AK and Clay. Killer XL, someone who started the season at Bahrain, is doing very well. Currently up in the top 5, representing Alpine.
yeah, and he's on those hard tires too, don't forget. So AK's mediums are going to fade away soon, and when they do, Killer XL on those hards are going to soft. Or is going to pounce,
Uh,
sorry.
Go
Speak.
to Carlos real quick
Okay, sure.
because after what we saw him spunning out, he's got a tough task ahead of him, and that is that one Portuguese dude. He's been doing everything he can to be able to make the pass on him, but it has not been the case. And I don't know if he'll be able to get just do it at the end of this turn. Oh, Portuguese. That was fun there.
Carlos is going to be in a slipstream and could even get a run into this corner. Looks like he's going to take the bottom. Can he make the pass?
Well,
He does it with ease.
perfection at its finest. And something's happening in Sector 3 at the moment. Oh, yeah, that's a Clay.
The AlphaTauris with terrible luck right now.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I mean, we talked pre-race about how fast Clay and Carlos is. 50% of the wins this season have come from those two drivers. But right now, the McLarens are actually the most impressive team that I've seen of note. P2 and P3, both cars on the podium. Jackson winning this race in the Red Bull, of course, but the other Red Bull's in 13th.
I'm just really surprised that this is all happening. I mean, wow. But meanwhile, go ahead.
And all that, looks like the Portuguese dude got back around Carlos. Now he's trying to make the move again. Now they're in the same spot of the track he did last lap. I think he's trying to do the same thing. as Darludo gets a
Oh
3-second
my.
time penalty. Oh, just tragedy. Every time we say somebody's having a good race, they just, oh. I put the broadcaster's curse on Carlos and McLaren and AlphaTauri already. We're only on lap 9. I'm not allowed to talk about anybody for the rest of the race.
Hey,
Oh,
oh my gosh, what happened?
Carlos, no, no, Carlos, no. Oh, Carlos. Carlos spun coming out of the last corner. Now he's in pit road. He's got tons of damage.
And he probably got a penalty too, I'm assuming.
No, no penalty. Just
Oh boy.
he retired from the session.
Oh my god. Wow. So
Oh.
that puts a huge gamble on the rest of the field, especially if you are Jackson Holman. Now you don't have to worry about Carlos Hines because Carlos Hines it is done for the rest of the session. I am so surprised right now. Oh my god.
Well, if you're Jackson Altman, as spin and win gets a 5-second time penalty. If you're Jackson
And
Altman,
he's done, yeah.
because Darluda has a 3-second time penalty and he's almost 3 seconds behind, you basically have a 6-second lead right now.
Yeah. As a spin and win is done for tonight as well. So far, 3 drivers out of this race. Uh, Gotta say, I'm really surprised at the moment that we have these 3 out. But something's happened in Sector 2. This has definitely been a wild one. And by the way, real quick, while we were talking about Carlos Hines, though, look at Killer XL. Killer currently up in 3rd place, trying to ruin the McLaren party.
Yeah, but AK is still right behind him. Uh, Not sure who A Clay is. But regardless, AK definitely having a solid race so far. Those mediums are going to start to fade though. Killer on the hards is going to be really fast.
And don't forget, we are almost we're almost right there at the gap between the green flag stops between lap 12 to 23. I don't really think we'll see anybody come down pit road right at lap 12. I say probably my biggest guess will probably be at least between lap 14 to lap 15. If you really have enough chance, then go for it. But right now, at the moment, I mean, just focus on trying to be able to get your position and stay in it.
Well, if you're in the hards, I don't see you. Oh,
What happened?
Darludo!
No
Darludo!
way.
He saved it. But like he couldn't have been no more than 2 feet away from the wall. That could have been catastrophic.
And let me remind you guys, a 5 second gap between the leader and second place.
Plus a three
Six
second
gap.
time penalty.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
I'm speechless. Time penalties, DNFs, fistbusters in 13th. Dirty Boy Jackson just switched to hards. I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
I don't know. I don't know what's going on either, but something's happening in sector
We've,
2,
we've
and we
of
have a
course,
safety
oh,
car. Safety car is out for the second time tonight. What happened?
I'm looking at the track map and it looks like all cars are going.
Brinkerhoff is with a
Oh,
5 second penalty. Corner gun. What?
Brinkerhoff is no wing.
Oh. Oh
Brinkerhoff is
gosh.
no wing.
That is a virtual safety car. He. No
uh,
offense, and I've known Brinkerhoff for as long as I have. And I hate to admit this, but he's had the worst luck out of any of the drivers I've seen in the F1 series thus far.
he's running last with a time penalty and no wing. Uh,
I mean, I admire how much he's trying to be able to catch up with with at least like the top 15, and
Oh
he
my
gets another five
brother.
single penalty, speed mid pit lane. Fortunate.
Verge,
Oh,
no! Verge, buddy.
I'm sorry.
Oh no.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
You
He's
know
he's the
your
biggest goofball.
you gotta know your delta, man. He slams
Oh,
the wall.
kind of look like, I don't know if it looked like Heredia, but somebody
But
has damage.
that was it was Heredia. Okay, first you're not as bad off. You
Yeah,
didn't slam the wall, but you're
I'll
still on
say.
thin ice.
And by the way, we're not making fun of Schwarzenegger at all, not one bit, because he is the biggest goofball in the league. But I kind of wish we had Ball Stick with us because that way that
Oh my
if
goodness,
Ball
who's
Stick would have
that?
come
Oh,
on.
Clay's around.
Oh my God, what
The
is
Alpha
happening with the Alpha?
Tauris.
Oh my God.
We're cursed. We're monsters. We're just ruining people's races.
I don't know. I don't
Carlos
know
is
if
DNF'd. Clay's in 11th, gone around 15 times. Fistbusters in
Fortune
12th.
Fortunator got a penalty.
Verge can't obtain his Delta.
Apparently not, and I am looking forward to hearing what he has to say after we get off the air because
Oh
you
no.
know we know we're gonna be talking to him about it. Bring
And
him up with
Brink
it.
gets enough. If you're 38 seconds back and you're still getting time penalties, like brother,
I don't know. Like I said before, we're not making fun of him. We're not just I
just
don't know.
this is everybody has a bad race, but this is just terrible.
So something happened in Sector 3. There's a red car. Who is it?
Uh, I want you to take a good guess. Just an educated guess. The Alfa Romeos are going down pit road. Both virgin.
Uh,
Brinker.
While
Oh.
Jackson is laughing his Honda, or not Jackson, sorry, Speed is laughing his Honda off, and I'm trying to be the composer broadcaster. By the way, real quick, our top five are pretty much have been out on their tires with the most between at least 13 laps, exception with AK on the mediums. So something's got to give. I really think that they will probably come in between the next 2 to 3 laps, and I just don't.
Well, Jake has muted his mic in the middle of making a point, so
Sorry about that.
I'll make my next one. I don't want to
What's up?
jinx him, but I'm gonna talk about him. Our leader, Jackson. He
Okay. First,
is almost 8 seconds in front as Fistbuster's
Fistbuster.
race just gets worse. You are almost 8 seconds in front. The guy 8 seconds behind you is a 3 second time penalty and is a second half. So you pretty much can safely say you have a good part of a 10-second gap.
Yeah, and real quick,
Run
my
the
apologies.
race smoothly and don't speed, and you should be fine.
Well, I kind of love how the fact that my mic died while I was in the middle of talking, but I definitely do appreciate you pointing that out, by the way. And I love how you want the leader to have broadcaster's curse, which I don't think that is going to be possible. But I hope I am Jackson. Jackson, if you're watching this, my apologies just in advance. Anyways, so pretty much, as I'm saying, I really do believe that we should be seeing the leaders coming into pit road around either this time by or within potentially the 3 laps because, I mean, as great as you are on the hards, I mean, there's going to have to give and take, especially when it comes to what type of strategy you're playing out. As Jackson will stay out once again on pretty much now 15 laps on the hards at the moment.
Yes, but to go on about your anything is possible point, I just want to remind you that First Nader is beating Carlos Hines.
All I'm gonna say is, Speed, is that somebody will call you out in the chat, and oh, and something happened. Oh my gosh,
Oh,
is that Kluka?
worm. No, it's
Worm.
worm.
Yeah, and this is all happening right in front of the leader. Oh my gosh.
I wouldn't
That's
push. I wouldn't push it if I were Jackson.
no, I wouldn't, especially since you have both Worm and First in front of you. I mean, don't let them ruin your race. Just run your pace. Try not to get involved with something stupid. Which eventually I know that they both will get out of the way, but the problem is that you have the leaders immediately right behind you. As I think you do see some of the cars are ghosted, so if Jackson made be a chance, he could be able to pass them, but I really doubt it.
I've
And
been
something's going
racing
on.
with.
Oh, is
Ooh,
that Clay? Yeah, he's slowing down. Something just happened to Clay. Speed, go ahead.
I, there's nothing for me to say. What I was going to say.
What's what? What's
Every
happening? What's happening now?
every time I go to speak, Brinker off spins.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. I
A-
kind of noticed that.
And now
Continue.
Killer's in the pit.
All right.
uh,
You know when this league secretly hates you if you even try to talk something's always happening.
I've known that before any of this has happened. But anyway, point I was trying to make originally.
Oh, somebody made contact. That was Virginator. Virginator making some contact at the moment. As something happened to Speed at the moment. But we will get a chance to have him back here soon.
Immediately as I was trying to make my point is when my mother opens the door. Now I can make my point 6 laps too late. Worm, this guy I've raced with for almost 2 years. If he is in the way of the leader, I think he is respectful enough to get out of the way as another car spins.
Oh, safety car! Either a safety car or virtual safety car.
Driver of the Ferrari, God. I don't think he's driving like a god this race. He's in 12th. He spun out again. He's got a few time penalties. Had a rough go so far.
I mean, you know a thing or two about him being the god, and the fact that he is leading in the Xfinity Series points.
For now. For now.
Oh my gosh! I thought that somebody was about to hit Jackson. I don't know who that is. It could be Wormel. I don't know, or it could be Kluka. They're both right in front and right behind Jackson Altman.
Yeah, Worm is already behind Jackson. The driver currently inside of him is is Kluka. It's Kluka.
It's, something just happened. Oh, is that a breaker off again?
It could have been. Jackson Altman now has a 22-second lead. Yeah. He seems to be the last one to have pit when he does. We have a Heredia still kind of spinning around doing donuts in Sector 3. He has no wing, so it's a little bit hard to drive that race car. But Jackson Altman are leaders now in the pits. He didn't speed, so that's very good. He's going to enter his stall. He's going to put on mediums. Very interesting strategy call. He's going to come out of the pits. Still your leader by quite a gap as well. As Clay has another issue. This time in Sector 1. He's now in 14th. Um, Brink has now parked his car. Oh,
Yeah.
already has retired from the session, and now Brink is
So,
back going.
that's more than just a retired because that could be a full safety car
It looks like
or
it is at the very
virtual
least
safety
a
car.
virtual safety car. Uh, could be full course. I don't really know
Watch
for sure.
first end up
So
getting
it is a
a
safety car, as Warm gets a.
drive-through penalty, speeding under the safety car. So we're seeing a lot of these penalties, and I gotta say, Jackson Altman is. I think he already went down to pit road by the time the safety car, virtual safety car came out, and now what is Electric Blade going to do? He's the only driver that has ran the most on his hards. I think he'll end up having to come down this time, don't you think?
Yeah, and you know, out of all the things I expected this race, I didn't expect so many people to exceed that delta.
I mean, Furch, now Wormel. I mean, as Electric Blade, like I predicted, it is coming down the pit road this time by, and wondering what type of tire he's going to be running. Uh, let's check it out real quick as we will head to Electric Blade, and he's going to the pits, and he is
Mediums.
taking mediums.
I would do what Darludo just did and Killer just did and take the softs with 9 laps to go. There's not going to be a whole ton of time for those mediums to come in.
I
So,
think I think if it's your safe bet, everyone's going to be running on softs except for the 2 liters.
yeah. So if you are Killer XL or Dirty Boy Jackson, you now are the first cars. No time penalties, no damage, soft tires, top 5. I think you have a real chance, shot at the win here, because Jackson and Blade, sure, the mediums might be better the last lap of the race, but if those softs pass you and gap you so far, you can only do so much with those medium tires for 1 lap.
Yeah, but the thing is though is that I don't really think these softs are going to last 10 laps. So that's a really big thing. Unless we end up getting another safety car. I mean,
So softs
it's
usually last 9 to 11 laps, and we're coming to what I
10 to
believe is
go.
somewhere around 9 to 10 to go. So by the time the softs wear out, they're already going to be pouring the wine and champagne in victory lane.
So, I don't know. I mean, it's whatever the driver decides. I mean, if we do get another safety car, it's up to them on what they want to run. And, sorry about that. As we will end up having 9 laps to go this time by here at Miami. And for those who are just now tuning in live, always Jake, Speed Racer, up in the booth. And once again, we've had 4 cars out, and we've had 15 drivers out on the field. Our pole sitter, Carl Sainz, DNF, unfortunately. As far as guys like Clay, who started up front, started in at least like I think the top 3, the top 5, is currently down to 13th. Meanwhile, Jackson Altman, who has led the most laps here, Darrell Ludo in 3rd, Electric Blade in 2nd, Killer XL 4th, Dirty Boy Jackson in 5th, Porchy Dude 6th, AK 7th, Latifi 8th, Fistbuster 9th, and Dallas in 10th. Uh, real quick, once we get a chance to have the field together, are we done with the cautions? Do you think we'll see any more of the safety cars, or do you think we'll end up going green?
I think we're done with the cautions. At this point in the race, you don't even have a lot of time to create that safety car unless something happens on this initial start. Drivers are going to be aggressive though, so you never know. One thing I wanted to point out while you're talking about the qualifying order there, the only driver in the top 3 even still in points from qualifying is Fistbuster. And with his time penalty, I don't know if he's going to even stay in points. And that is just insane to think about. And a guy like Jackson, he qualified about 6th, 7th, I think, if I recall correctly. He's pretty much led since he took the lead from Carlos Hines when he spun. I would say that was over 10 laps ago now.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're still waiting on three drivers for them to get a chance to join back to field. I think one of them is on their way. I don't know if it's Kluka or if it's Wormel. Yeah,
Well,
it is Kluka. So
if you look at the intervals, Worm is like 20 seconds back in the field. Clay is 25 seconds behind a Worm. Gluka's even further back behind that, and Furch is a whole minute behind Gluka. Not sure how you lose a minute of time under a safety car, but I've been surprised this race already. So you, you never know.
yeah, and real quick though, Speed, I want to ask you a question. So you ever since we started this, you're not really familiar with F1. You're not really familiar with all the strategies. Do you think after broadcasting a couple of races, something happened to Killer XL? He has left the session. Hopefully, we'll get him back. But as I was saying, so pretty much you have, called most of these F1 races. Do you think you're finally understanding, the strategies and the way the F1's playing out for you so far?
Yeah, I mean, I think I've got a bit of a hang of it now. This game is very helpful with that, and I'm thankful for it. The telemetry, the tire type, all the data we're just kind of handed by the game definitely helps. But after a few races, of course, nothing's better than experience, but definitely a big help from the game for that as well.
And plus, with this game, we actually got a lap counter, we got a full track map, we got all these tools that I really wish, NASCAR game could have, especially from a broadcaster standpoint. I mean, this is what we are built to do. I mean, if in case you guys don't know, we started doing broadcasting since I think about a couple of years ago. And on the very first broadcast stream, myself and my Soaps called a Talladega race on the very first season. And about 5 seasons later, which safety car will be coming in this lap, 5 seasons later, we are pretty much putting the standard barrier for anyone that wants to come in and do broadcast booths. And we sure got some amazing drivers and amazing broadcast booths like the ones you're listening to tonight. Speed, any final thoughts before we get ready to go green?
Be prepared for the guys on softs to charge it into turn one.
Very well said. Well, yeah, as they are coming through the final corner this time by, drivers should be able to get a chance to get lined up as we are experiencing some cloudy skies. I don't know. Oh, something happened to Sector 3. What's going on?
We're just all stopping, I guess. We just feel like stopping before the green, and back underway. Electric Blade got the second. Not sure. I don't know what happened there. They all just stopped. AK ignored the yellow flag, I guess. That's the time penalty for him. Something going on in Sector 1. I believe that's Worm who had an issue. Yeah, it is Worm, the Mercedes. Killer!
Oh, Killer!
Oh, his wheel is rolling down the track.
That could be a safety car.
There is a car sitting in the middle of Sector 1 with no wheel or wing, for that matter.
I'm surprised they have not called a safety car or a VRS. I don't know.
Race kept going. Looks like the car's been cleaned up and by the power of magic and Houdini, and they're going to keep going. Jackson down the straightaway. Blade is in distance. I don't know if DRS is going to be enabled or if it is enabled at this very moment in time, but AK, he's right on the tail of Electric Blade. If you were to pass him, and you got a battle going on for 4th position. Looks like, no, that's not Darludo. Who's that then? Who's that guy?
In second place, AK.
Yeah. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, but one thing I
AK's
can
in
say
second.
is, yeah, I'll say AK. I mean, we have three different drivers representing three different teams: Red Bull, McLaren, and Haas. Electric Blade's been looking phenomenal throughout the entire race thus far. So you got to give credit where credit is due, as we are less than 6 laps to go till we crown our winner, and of course, get a chance to talk to those that are going to be joining us in the podium, inside the booth, which you guys will get a chance to listen to that following our coverage here of the race. So make sure you guys keep watching because we will get a chance to talk to those who will finish the podium, third place, second place, and of course the race winner. Speed, I'm noticing we're experiencing some cloudy skies as Darludo gets the 3 second time penalty. Could we be expecting any rain this time? Right? Do you think we should be experiencing any rain at all?
I don't think so. I haven't looked at the forecast for this race, but I've been surprised before. It looks like, is that Brinker having an issue? Yeah, it was Brinker had an issue again. But anyways, I think it's just cloud cover as DRS is now enabled. I wasn't sure about that earlier. It is enabled now. I know that for a fact. Okay.
Yeah. I'm really. I don't know. I mean, it'd be really nice to get a chance to see some rain happening here. Oh, as AK gets a little bit loose, you can see that wiggle right off that turn. But right now, AK is on a roll. He's on a mission to chase down. Oh my gosh! Watch out, AK chasing down the leader as Furchinator gets a 3 second time penalty. Fortitude gets a 3 second time penalty, and something's going down in Sector 1. That is Brinkerhoff once again. Back to the front we go. Jackson Altman is still in the lead. Meanwhile, followed by AK Unleaded, then Electric Blade, then of course we're seeing Dirty Boy Jackson and Fastbuster. And I gotta say this, something happened in Sector 1. Is that Brinkerhoff once again? Yes, it is. Back to the front we go. Anyways, so pretty much we're seeing so many different battles as we see Dirty Boy Jackson is right behind Electric Blade for third place, as well as Fistbuster. Hope you're on their speed because we have a blanket of cars and we are down to 5 laps to go here in Miami. Jackson is pulling away, but the problem is though that we have potentially a huge battle for second place, 4 car battle. Here comes Dirty Boy Jackson inside, sorry, Fistbuster inside Electric Blade. No, yeah, Dirty Boy Jackson. My apologies, guys.
Dirty
But
Boy
anyways,
Jackson made the pass. Uh,
here comes
one,
Fistbuster.
ooh, one thing I wanted to mention. We're talking about that broadcaster's person. I did mention that Jackson was a leader and had to chill. Well, cloud cover is a beautiful, beautiful art. Hopefully, it doesn't drop any rain.
What's happening? Okay,
Hopefully, hopefully it doesn't
Fistbuster
drop.
just passed Dirty Boy Jackson. So you're saying that we should be expecting some rain this time soon?
I'm not saying we should be expecting it. However, out of all the things we've seen this race, wouldn't surprise me.
It wouldn't surprise me not one bit at all. I mean, like I said before, we do have some cloud cover in the skies at the moment, especially with we're down to, I think, 4 laps to go or 4 laps to go. Yes.
We're coming to 3 laps to go. We're in the final sector now. Fistbusters could make a move on AK here for second.
Oh, and something happened in Sector 1 that looked to be, Wormel once again. It was. But, and by the way,
Fistbuster makes the pass on AK for P2 and
can we
clears
just
him by a
admire
mile.
something?
What?
Fistbuster went from 18th to second place in just a matter of moments.
I mean, yeah, but he has that time penalty, so even though he's in second rate now, is he going to keep it? As
Wormel?
warm buddy, you're better than. Don't be sorry, be better.
Real quick, before we do get back to the race, if I had $1 for you, Joker, or anybody said it'd be better, I'd be rich right now, and that should be on a T-shirt. So yeah, as has a 3-second time penalty, less than 2 to go here at Miami. Jackson Altman, who is in the lead, looking to have his
I mean,
second win of the season.
if we want to go back to that point, we do have some pretty good graphics guys here in Hennessy. Don't be sorry, be better. Gotta put that on something. This electric blade gets a 3-second time penalty. Everybody in the field, except for Jackson, both Jacksons, I should say, Dirty Boy Jackson and Jackson Altman, our leader. Fortnite Racing, believe that's Nicholas Latifi, LD Allen, and Worm. But Worm, I think he's given himself a penalty with all these spins, kind of. So, do you think any of these drivers without a penalty get one in these final laps?
I'd be really surprised if they do get a penalty, if I'm being honest.
2 laps to go. If I'm Jackson Altman, I'm not pushing it too hard. We were just talking about time penalties. He's got a pretty good gap to Fist. And even if Fist passes him, that time penalty is going to basically just Uno reverse card that entire move. Just run your race, hit your marks, don't get a time penalty. Get through sector 1, get head down the long straightaway into the slow bendy part of the track as Jackson, not the leader, but Dirty Boy Jackson, gets a 5-second time penalty, I think that was. So 1 down.
Jesus.
Only, I believe that is 1, 2,
Yeah, but
4 guys without a time penalty running this race. One of them is Wormule, who's 41 seconds back at 11th place. Brinkeroff gets another time penalty. Yeah.
He back to our point. Back to our point. As we are on our way to the final lap of the race. White flag this time by as Darlou gets a 3-second time penalty. Jackson Allman, who has led the most laps, is pulling away from Fistbuster. I don't think Fist will have enough time as Wormhole's something happening between Wormhole down in Sector 1.
And he's going to go back on the track right in front of our leader.
But he's ghosted, so nothing to worry about. But
my.
So far, this has been a moment that Jackson Allman needs, trying to be able to get a second win here in the season. And something happened to AK?
Hey, no, that is
Darludo.
Darludo. Yeah. He's fallen back to 10th. I believe he'll still get points, but still a tough break. Let's go back to the front. Probably getting through the toughest part of the track right now.
Sector 2, something happened, but yet final corner this time by Jackson Altman, who has been dominating this entire time. And I think, I don't think we have to worry about any raindrops because nothing can rain on Jackson Altman's parade. Through the final corner, there he goes, going on his way to the front stretch. There he goes, Jackson Altman. He is going to win the race. Jackson Altman wins at Miami.
Fistbuster still going to get in second. I think Dirty Boy Jackson may round out your podium. Not entirely sure, as he does. AK with an unserved penalty. He's going to fall to 7th with that. That's Kluka. Look at Kluka. He got 6th. Clay, he spun around at least 5 times that race. He gets 5th still. Fortnite Racing, otherwise known as Nicholas Latifi, finishes 8th. Waiting for Portiju to get 9th, and Darludo still gets points. So there you have it for your finishers. I'm at a loss for words here. I expected Jackson to be fast, but everything else that happened in this race, I didn't see coming. I couldn't have. Uh, wow, Miami didn't disappoint. To say, I mean,
My,
not us, anyways.
Miami sure did not disappoint at all. That was a very fun one, and a fun one indeed. But the question is, though, is that now, as Kluka wins driver of the day, surprisingly enough.
Kluka did have a pretty good race. I mean, he rebounded from a poor qualifying effort and got into sixth place. And honestly, a few more mistakes from the top five, we could have got a top five, which is amazing for a Division Two driver making their debut.
Yeah, as we're currently loading up, hopefully we'll get a chance to have our top three, which it should be everything, as we do see Jackson Altman, who will win tonight's race at Miami. Uh, I don't. Who's. Okay, so let's go ahead and review. So it will be Jackson Altman, Fistbuster, and Dirty Boy Jackson. Any way we can have them in the booth? Oh, here,
Yeah,
I got him. I got him.
you just
I'll get
gotta,
him.
yeah.
Alright, give me 1 second.
I would, but you know the lead responsibilities. You've been here long enough, Jake. You've been here longer than
Yeah,
me.
I've been here since sliced spread of the league, so that should tell you something. Alright, so we'll have so we have Fistbuster.
Fistbuster, Fistbuster, and both the Jacksons, really.
Alright, and just Dirty Boy Jackson.
Jackson Allman and Dirty Boy Jackson, both the Jacksons.
Alright, as I will invite them. Give me 1 second. Is there anything on Dirty Boy Jackson's name, like numbers or anything?
There's an underscore between Boy and Jackson.
Okay.
Other than that, it's just capitals. You oh,
I
unless
got it. I got it.
okay. Um,
Yep, there it is. Alright. I just now got all three to join them.
I'm interested to see all of these.
So, first of all, we do have our race winner in Jackson Altman, a dominating race. Congratulations, man! Second win, a part of the season. I mean, how do you feel right now?
I feel amazing.
You definitely, I'll say you definitely looked really incredible out there. First off, I want to get a chance to congratulate you on your win. You did phenomenal, but I also want to get a chance to talk to you about ask you a couple of questions. So whenever the race started, you was battling out with Carlos Sainz, and I want to get through your take on that battle that you had with Carlos at the time.
I mean, he was faster than me, but I was using the ERS to keep up with him, and then he spun. And then after that, I was just building the gap on everyone else.
Yeah, and of course, I mean, we saw what happened to Carlos, and then you ended up pulling away, I think, 6 seconds at the time? Uh, I gotta say this, though. You had what would you say, dominating race? I mean, talk about your performance tonight. You have improved a lot ever since Saudi Arabia. Do you think you can be able to carry that coming into next week?
Probably. I don't even know. Like, I think I can.
All right. Well, we'll definitely continue on with the questions, but first we want to welcome in Fistbuster. Fistbuster, you got a copy, bud?
Yep.
Fistbuster, you have had quite a race as I'm hearing myself in the background. But let's go ahead and talk to you real quick. So you pretty much started up front, had some issues going on. You pretty much was back in the 18th, and then you finished the race up in the top three. Take us through your race. Take us through what you could have done in the end.
It was a pretty eventful race. When the first safety car came out, I got the worst audio glitch imaginable. I couldn't hear my engine at all. It was just horrible static blasting into my ears. So that,
I don't mean to interrupt, but did that get worse
yep,
on the second safety
Yeah.
car? Literally every time I went under the bridge, at the end of the race, it was just static. I couldn't hear anything.
yeah, and
Yeah.
that definitely helped to make me wreck off that safety car restart. I couldn't hear my engine, so then I had to leave and rejoin so I could get rid of the glitch, and I somehow got back to ninth when the last safety car came out, and I mean I had good pace, so I was able to get around a few guys, and a lot of other people wrecked. So all in all, I was kind of lucky to get in second place there. I don't know what happened there at the last safety car restart. By what I'm hearing, Jackson could get a penalty, so maybe if I'm lucky, I could get the win. But um,
I got passed. I got passed,
okay,
and I stopped to
yeah,
get an illegal overtake.
Yeah.
it's
Very
been
nice.
a crazy year so far. I've only done like 3 races, and I finished second twice, and got wrecked for the win at the other race. So been really close. Hopefully next race I show up and get the win next time.
Well, real quick though, I do want to remind you and the viewers that are watching us still is that this race is probably going to be the most interesting race we've called since the start of the season because we are heading to Monaco next week. That is next Friday, Joe. And I'll let Speed have before as far as questions, but Speed, not sorry, not Speed, but Jackson and Fistbuster, you guys are very aware of how Monaco can be. Fist, I want to start off with you. What's your thoughts going to be for the Monaco race?
Definitely gonna have to qualify up front, and during the race is just survive. I mean, that's basically what Monaco is: qualify up front and survive, and about it.
Well, Jackson, I think we can definitely talk about from what Speed just said. Do you think Monaco can be the survival of the fittest for next week?
Yeah, basically all you have to do is stay out of the wall, and if you qualify well, no one behind you can pass you. So I bet it'll be like 6 or 7 finishers. I think.
Speed, yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Speed, do you have any questions for both Fist or Jackson?
No, not really. Fist, you had an amazing run going. Sorry you ran into technical issues, but your pace was so incredible. You were able to go from 18th to second place, and could have probably maybe even still had a shot at the win had it fallen your way. Jackson, amazing drive by you. You hung with Carlos until he spun, and you pretty much led every lap after that. So good drive by both you guys, and hopefully you guys can carry this momentum at Monaco.
Yeah, real quick, and I got one final question before we let you gentlemen go. Fistbuster, do you have any final thoughts, final comments you want to say?
um, no, just good win to Jackson there, and get him next week.
All right, Jackson Allman, do you have any final thoughts, any final comments you want to say? Yeah, make sure you guys support these gentlemen. Outside of F1, they both will be racing in the NASCAR series for both Xfinity Cup. Check that out for next Thursday. But gentlemen, as far as the F1 goes, we'll see you guys right back inside the racetrack. We'll definitely see you guys in Monaco. So good luck to you, gentlemen, and we'll see you guys next week. All right. Well, that was both Fistbuster and Jackson Altman. Speed, like we talked about, Miami did not disappoint, not one bit.
No, it didn't. And next week, road course racing. Wednesday, Sonoma, tough track in its own right. Thursday, Mid Ohio, another track in its own right. And then Friday, we're back here, and probably the toughest track for Formula One, Monaco. Definitely going to be an interesting week. And if you're a road course racing fan and you watch us race every week, you're going to love it. Um, that's my final thoughts. Jake?
Yeah, I definitely could say that I'm definitely going to take advantage of the week that has been for myself, you, and of course Fortunator, and for the fact that we got a chance to call so many races. Real quick, I definitely do want to appreciate you. I definitely want to appreciate the league for keep going as much as you have. I want to say this. Thank you guys for getting a chance to watch this race. Thank you guys for getting a chance to tune in. That is our coverage here tonight at beautiful Miami. We'll be back as far as the YouTube channel goes next Wednesday at Sonoma. No stages. Hopefully, we'll get a chance to have myself, First Air, and of course, have the returning Electric Days if we get a chance to return. And make sure you guys just like, comment, subscribe. We really, really do appreciate you guys so much. And we'll see you next Friday here at Monaco.